Hello, Instagram Live. This is Carmen Chloe of CarmenChloe.com. And in this video, we are going to be talking about how women lose themselves in marriage and motherhood. And again, my name is Carmen Chloe of CarmenChloe.com. Make sure you hop on over to my website after this video and check out what I have going on in this season. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is a brand new channel. I have another channel, but this is a new season. God is doing a new thing, so I was led to create a brand new channel. Also, don't forget to like this video and comment below. So again, as I stated in the beginning, this video is going to talk about how women lose themselves in marriage and motherhood. So I'm going to tell you a little story about me, because I know that the art of storytelling is not dead, it's very much alive. I know that we connect with people through their authentic and organic stories. So I'm going to be transparent, I'm going to be authentic, and I'm going to share a little bit about my story. So when I first got pregnant with my first daughter, it was unexpected, it was unplanned, and if I can be honest, it was unwanted initially. Now, yes, I was doing the things that cause pregnancy, i.e. having sex, even though I was not married at the time. And I should not have been having sex according to my spiritual beliefs. But despite all of that, I had the nerve to be shocked when I became pregnant with my first daughter 7 years ago. So initially, I wasn't going to have my first daughter. Okay, my baby daddy at the time and we were on again, we were off again. We were in this cycle of being on again, off again relationship, mainly due to me not wanting to commit, me having commitment issues and commitment phobias, and also due to me not really knowing what I wanted in a relationship. So due to the fact that we weren't officially together and I was unsure of if I wanted to be with him in the long run, I considered aborting my first child. I didn't want to be a baby mama. I didn't want to be a single mom. I did not want to have a child outside of marriage. And even though I was doing everything to create the situations that I claimed that I didn't want, meaning I was having sex outside of marriage and clearly having it in such a way that I became pregnant, yeah, I was doing all the things that led up to what I said I did not want to do, but that's another story for another day. But I went through weeks of indecisiveness, and I even had made the abortion appointment for my first daughter. The abortion appointment was set, but there was something in me that would not let me go through with it. Okay, I just kept thinking, like, this is not right. Like, I need to go ahead and put my big girl underwear on and be a grown up and go through with the consequences of my decision. Now, mind you, in my younger years, I previously had 2 prior abortions. Okay, that's not something that I would even entertain right now at this point in my life, but I had 2 before. But it was something about considering doing it again that just it didn't sit right with my spirit at the time. And I'll never forget, back then, I had told certain friends that I was close to, I had told certain acquaintances that I was close to, and a few family members. But out of all of the people that I told, everyone was like, we support you in your decision, whatever it is that you want to do. There was only one person, and I was teaching with her at the time, and we weren't friends, we weren't close, we had never really had any personal conversations, but I had to go inside of her classroom to watch her teach something, to watch her model a teaching lesson. And somehow we got on the conversation about children and relationships, and I felt led to share with her that I was pregnant and that I was not going to have my baby. Now, at the time, she did not know me. Since that time, we've gotten to know each other a little bit better. We're not close friends or anything like that, but at the time when I was pregnant and I shared it with her, we had no prior relationship, but I felt comfortable sharing this with her, and she was the only person who was bold enough to stand up in her faith in Christ, her faith in the word. And she was the only one who was bold enough to tell me, do not do that, okay? I don't care what's going on with you and your baby daddy or your on again, off again boo. We don't know what this child is going to become. We don't know what's going to become of your life after you have her, but do not abort that baby. You have to have that baby, okay? Because it's a part of God's plan. It's a reason why you're pregnant with her. And I thank her to this day. I thank her to this day. And it brings tears to my eyes when I think about how bold she was in professing her faith, and how bold she was in speaking life and purpose into me at such a pivotal time in my life. But I had the appointment and everything, but it was not sitting right with me. It was not sitting right with me, okay? Something would not let me go through with it. And for starters, I was 30 years old at the time, and I kept thinking, you're too old to be thinking about having an abortion. Like, you're too old. Number one. But it was in my spirit. Like, it didn't sit right with me. I knew that it would have been detrimental had I went through with it. And thank God for that particular young lady who was bold enough to say, don't do that. That's not the will of God for your life. That's not the will of God for that child's life that you're carrying. And I'm so very thankful for that. And also, even though my baby daddy and I at the time, which he's now my husband, even though at the time we were not together, I knew that he would be an amazing father regardless of what happened between us. And I knew that he would do everything in his power to make sure that me and my unborn child would be straight after the fact, regardless of if we were together or not, because that's his character. That's the type of man that he is. He's very caring. His love language is giving. And I just knew that I would be fine regardless. So it was more so an issue with me and being selfish and not wanting to have this stigma or the title of a baby mama, and not wanting to have my child go through a situation to where she was not in the same household with both parents, which that's how I grew up, and it affected me in a different way. So I just had a lot of things going on that was holding me back from giving birth to this life that I created. But I decided to go ahead and just really weigh things out, and the good outweighed the bad, and my consciousness would not let me rest. So I decided to put my big girl panties on, and I decided to have my first child. I began to anticipate her arrival. I was mesmerized by her first kicks, and I fell in love, like real unconditional love, when I gave birth to her, like holding her, nurturing her, loving on her. It was literally like watching a manifested physical form of my heart outside of my body. Okay, and she quickly became my life. When I gave birth to my first child, she quickly became my life. All of my waking hours were centered around her. I literally only showered a few times during that first month that I had her. I may have showered like 2 or 3 times a week, because I was literally like wrapped up into her, wrapped up into motherhood, making sure she was fine. I was nursing at the time, so nursing her every time she wanted to nurse. And I legit didn't comb my hair for a month. I remember my hair was long at the time. Y'all ladies know how that pregnancy hair is. My hair was long at the time, and it was pulled up in this bun, and it literally stayed in a bun for like a month after I had given birth. I couldn't sleep unless she was cuddled up next to me. I was now mommy. That's who I was. I wasn't Carmen anymore. I definitely wasn't Carmen Chloe anymore. I was mommy. Nothing more, nothing less. That had become my new identity. So things ended up falling apart, and then suddenly coming back together with my then baby daddy. And when they came back together, we decided to get married 8 months after our daughter was born. So a little over 2 years of her being born and us getting married, we found out we were pregnant again. I had just really gotten into a routine of juggling marriage and motherhood. Nervousness tried to keep in as I pondered, like, how in the world am I going to manage being a wife and caring for 2 children under the age of 3? I had a ton of help during the first month after our second daughter was born. Like, my mom, she literally flew up from Miami, which is where I'm from, and she stayed to help me out for almost a month. And it really helped me to kind of transition into being a mother of 2 children now, 2 small children, 2 beautiful girls. So when my mother left to go back to Miami, I literally cried like a baby, because I was like, what in the hell am I going to do with a toddler, a newborn, and a husband? Okay, so it took some trial and error, and it took some adjusting, but eventually I got a bit of a routine going. But shortly after, I looked up and I didn't recognize myself anymore. Okay. Now, I told you guys when I had my first child, I simply became mommy. Now here I am, child, husband, another child comes along. So I really don't know who I am. Okay. Shortly after, looked up, I didn't know who I was anymore. Gone were the days of me getting a manicure and a pedicure every 2 weeks, my bi-weekly hair appointments, which I was still able to keep when I had just one child. But now with two small children, they were nearly impossible to keep up. I couldn't tell you anything about the latest fashion, the nearest mall, the trends, what was going on in the outside world, and getting dressed up and putting on clothes, as we say in Miami, keeping my hair done, keeping my feet done, and just keeping myself cared for. It was a distant memory. I had to look myself in the mirror and I had to face the harsh truth that I didn't know who I was anymore. I had officially lost myself in marriage and motherhood. Oh, and did I forget to mention that I was unemployed for the second time from the same exact job within a 2-year time span? Talk about adding insult to injury. So all of this was on me. I had literally lost my identity. I was wrapped up in motherhood, wrapped up in being a wife. I no longer had my career anymore, which when my husband initially met me, I was a teacher. I was successful in my career. I was one of the top performing teachers at my school. But here I was years later. I had no hobbies. I had no favorite pastimes. I had no favorite restaurants. I had no career. I had no friends. My daughters and my husband had literally become my life. So as time went on, I realized that what I was going through and still transitioning out of was not so uncommon. There are millions of moms and wives who have lost their identity and immersed their entire being in taking care of their children and being available to their husband. I realized that my life, even though it was simple, it was chaotic. Chaotic with the demands of others and with the absence of my true needs, my true desires, and my true wants. I was in desperate need of clarity. I needed to clear my mind. I needed to re-engage with who I was, because I knew who I was before I had gotten pregnant, before I had gotten married. But this new woman with one child and then another child so quickly after, and then becoming married, I didn't know who this new woman was. So I was in desperate need of clarity. I needed clarity on why I felt I had been stuck living the same day repeatedly for years. I needed clarity on what I really wanted my next season and my next chapter to look like. I needed clarity on who I really was outside of being the mom of two girls and the wife of one man. I was feeling lost. I was feeling confused. I was feeling chaotic and in need of clarity. Like, so knowing that, I knew that certainly there were other moms and wives that felt the same way that I felt. And that's what inspired me to do something about it. That's what led me to give birth to my 5-day clarity challenge, okay? It's specifically for moms and wives, especially for my moms, okay? So the 5-day clarity challenge, it's a 5-day challenge that empowers you to confront what has been keeping you stagnant, what has been keeping you stuck, and what is keeping you from not going where you truly know that you should be. Now, I know my story resonated with you if you've made it this far in the video, if you're still here, if you're still listening to me. So if you're looking for a sign, this is it. If you're looking for a sign to do something different, if you're looking for a sign to let you know that, okay, you're not where you need to be, you're not where you want to be, but you need to do something and you don't know what to do, this is your official sign. So what I want you to do, I left a link in the bottom of the video description that tells all about the 5-day clarity challenge. I want you to click that link right now and I want you to register for the 5-day clarity challenge. Now, once you opt in, you're going to get an email that tells you exactly how to become an official registrant of the 5-day clarity challenge. The challenge is hosted inside of a private Facebook group. If you do not have Facebook, don't worry, because the challenges can be emailed to you as well. You have an activity for every day of the challenge that is going to really help you to sit down, be real with yourself, be introspective and to work some things out. Work some things out in your mind, work some things out in your life, and do some planning for where it is that you want to go. So again, this is Carmen Chloe of CarmenChloe.com. I look forward to seeing you on the inside of the 5-Day Clarity Challenge. If you know any other moms or wives that can resonate and connect with this story, and they need some assistance and they don't necessarily know what type of assistance that they need, please share this video with them. Please invite them to officially register and sign up for the 5-Day Clarity Challenge. Also, don't forget to like this video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you all on the next video. Peace and blessings.